I'm gonna show you why fast talkers are terrible closers and how to hire A-player closers here from Latin America who will help you close more deals and help you scale more profitably. Guys, let's be real. Most founders who hire offshore closers are looking for someone who has charisma and sound American. And while that could help in some cases, if that person doesn't have a sales process and a sales framework that actually converts leads into signed, closed, and cash collected deals, then hiring people who sound American is not gonna solve anything. Actually, I have two closers right now who are not American, who have not been in the US for many, many years, but they're both closing almost every day and multiple dozens of deals per month. One of them has little to no accent, and the other one has an Eastern European accent. The difference between these guys is that they came in knowing what sales frameworks is like, knowing how to take a cold lead through the process and convert them into a paid client. Because let's be real, anybody can close a hot referral. Anybody can close for a company that's already doing hundreds of millions of dollars. That's not impressive. What's impressive is when a closer comes into a small company that has a little to no brand and can take a lead and close them, sign the contract, and cash collect on that call or on follow-ups, because we all know the sales and the magic a lot of times comes through the follow-up. And look, guys, I've made this mistake as well. I've hired people based off charisma, based off their personality, based off their energy. And I was like, I'll train them on these sales processes. And while I did, and we have a lot of our sales process in place, that person was a smooth talker on the interview. That person celebrated getting the interview rather than celebrating getting sales and getting better at the art of sales. Now, I have closers who are closing millions of dollars per year. And the biggest difference is we stopped hiring for charm. We started hiring for process, discipline, sales framework, experience, and follow through. In this video, I'm going to show you how to avoid the charisma trap, what to look for when hiring offshore closers, specifically here in Latin America, but you can use this for anywhere in the world, and to build a lean, hungry, performing offshore sales team. Like I said, guys, one of the biggest mistakes founders make is they hire based off charisma. They think charisma equals competence. And that could not be further from the truth. So what happens is these founders get on a Zoom interview with someone from Argentina, Mexico, or Colombia, and the candidate has perfect English. They sound amazing. They look amazing, but they're a smooth talker. If you're a good salesperson, that's part of being a good salesperson is your energy and your charisma. Yes, of course, I want my salespeople to have some energy and charisma. If you come into the interview and that's the only thing you have, man, oh man, I better be prepared to train the heck out of you, because if I don't, nor do I have the time, this is not gonna work. And after these founders get on these interviews with someone with charisma, they hire them because they really like them. They were sold on this potential that this person has, but then 2 or 3 weeks later, no sales, no follow-ups, and this person slowly starts disappearing. And you can tell that very quickly. Here's the thing no one tells you. Salesmanship in Latin America isn't about being Americanized. It's about finding someone who's disciplined, coachable, has the process, has the framework, and has proven experience with high-ticket sales. And actually, at Remote Latinos, this is exactly what we help clients find. We help them find experienced, disciplined, coachable sales reps that can come into your business and crush it from day one. If you're looking for this talent, head over to remotelatinos.com, schedule a call with our team, and let us present you the top closer candidates we have here in Latin America so you can find the perfect fit, hire them, delegate sales, and finally be able to scale your business profitably. So if you're doing this for yourself, you're not using Remote Latinos, here's how to avoid hiring the wrong salespeople. 1, you want to screen for process, not just personality. Again, guys, do I care about personality? Yes, it is important, and I want people to have charisma. But is it the end all be it all? Absolutely not. Some of the best closers I know are introverted. They don't go out, they don't network, they sit and they close. because they're disciplined and they have a process in place. So what I would do if I were you and I was screening these candidates, I would ask them the following questions. 1A, what's your framework for the discovery call? 1B, what's your framework on the pitch? 2, walk me through how you previously sold whatever product or service you had as if I'm a prospect. 3, how do you handle price objections? Another one could be, how do you handle spouse objections? And another one could be, how do you handle, I'm looking at other companies' objections? So basically test out their objection handling skills, which leads me to letting you know you should test them live on the call on their objection handling skills. Okay. So if your interview is going a little bit long, a lot of times I like to do this on a second interview where I literally test them as if I'm a prospect buying whatever it is they used to sell. And I throw a lot of objections at them and I do maybe multiple different role plays. And lastly, ask them about follow-up and test their follow-up skills. For example, if someone does not close, when are they following up with them? How often are they following up with them? What is their follow-up process? And then after the call, I ask them to follow up with me, the business owner that they're trying to apply for. I ask them to follow up with me at a specific time and date. Okay, so for example, if I took an interview today and I feel pretty good about them, I would ask them to follow up with me tomorrow before 3 p.m. EST. Let's see if they do. A lot of people don't do it. Believe it or not, people do not follow up, even when it's to get a job. Pretty crazy. The truth is, guys, there are phenomenal closers all over Latin America, but it's up to you to find them. Don't fall for the charisma and energy and Americanized trap. So many Americans that speak perfect English cannot sell water to a person that needs water, okay? Just because you speak English and you don't have an accent doesn't mean you're going to be a good closer. A great closer has a process, has a framework, and is confident in their skills, but also is disciplined and coachable. Whether they're in the US, in Canada, in Colombia, in Mexico, in Egypt, it doesn't matter. Always interview for their process rather than their charisma. Remember what I told you. Some of the greatest closers in today's world are introverted. They don't network. They don't go out and meet people. They're by themselves. They're playing video games and they're closing deals. Just because you're introverted does not mean you cannot close deals. Would I prefer to have someone with charisma? Yes. Would I prefer to have someone with energy? Sure. But at the end of the day, the one thing I care about most is who's closing deals. So if I have an introvert that closes 10 deals and I have an extrovert that closes 5 deals, I'm going to choose that introvert 100% of the time. And so will you. So remember, interview for process, test them on the interview, schedule a second interview if necessary, test their follow-up skills, and most importantly, remember this. A great closer will show you they're great within the first few weeks. You don't need them to prove it within 90 days. Within the first few weeks, up to a month, you should feel confident that they're going to be closing deals. Maybe it takes them a little bit longer to train and understand your offer and service, but within the first month, if you're not confident about them, you hired the wrong person. That's why you should go to Remote Latinos to avoid that, because if you hire the wrong person with us, we'll give you a free replacement. Thank you for watching the video. Check out my video on how to be aware of your A players who are coasting, who might quit your job at any point. It'll give you a lot of value on how to avoid this. And like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Os.